Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have James. James is from England in the UK. So let's see what James has to say. Enjoy the interview.
How are you?
Amazing. Hello James, I'm very well. How are you doing today?
Yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
So tell me, how was your day today?
It's been good, mate. Been decorating today. Been doing a few bits around the house.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been good to get on top of things. I've had a bit of time off, should we say, like work-wise. Do you know what I mean? To start a new journey.
I see. So tell me what has been the highlight of your day today?
The highlight of my day today has to be spending time with the people that live with me.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's just, and seeing them happy. Not even necessarily spending time with them, more seeing them happy. Like my little boy's out playing, the missus is writing poems and stuff, so all good.
Oh my God. I think being surrounded by our loved ones, it's just perfect. It's a perfect day every day.
Of course it is. It's not perfect all the time.
I mean,
it's perfect.
Perfect is what I know what you mean. And tell me where you're from, James.
I'm from Derby, which is in the Midlands, UK. Mighty Rams and all that. Football team. That's the local football team. So yeah. And I live in a little village called Chaddersden.
Okay.
And I've lived there for 25 years. And yeah, happy. Like it.
So my question is, if I would come to your village for the very first time, to visit, to see, tell me a place that I shouldn't miss it. What's a must-go place in your village?
Right here.
Yeah?
No. Probably Chaddersden. So probably the Paddock. Place called the Paddock. So there's a pub called the Paddock, and at the back of that there's the old railway line that used to cut through, and it's a nice dog walk. There's fields either side, there's forestry, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's it's just peaceful. It's just nice. Totally. You know, like there's nothing special about it, but it's special to me. It's not special, but I would definitely take you there and go, this is where I come, you know, just for a bike ride or a walk or whatever, really. So yeah.
And how far are you from London?
From London? Well, I know back in the day when I used to work down London, it was about 2 hours away.
Okay.
And that was a long time ago. So I think I'm about 100 miles away. Roughly.
See.
So yeah.
And what do you do for work, for living, James?
I've not got a job. But I'm halfway through kind of what I used to do is tarmac. I used to be a tarmacker and always been in and out of a bit of this and a bit of that when it comes to the building trade, but mainly tarmacking and fascia and soffits. That was what I earned a lot of money doing, and good money for a consistent amount of time. So, and that kind of put me in a good place to kind of packing work, and my other half that's now moved in with me, when we met at the time, she came to move in. So she helps with expenses as well. So now that's freed me up to any money that I've saved over the years to kind of push us both on a new journey.
Amazing.
We're both at that age of kind of like, well, I don't want to tell you her age. She probably frown at me if I say the age, but she's close to my age. Do you know what I mean? And I'm 46 this year. So, yeah, we're both just at a place in our life where we're both kind of getting back on the path that you were supposed to be on in the first place, kind of thing. You know, like you have to go through life and then you kind of find your way.
Totally.
I'm on that path to building that at the moment.
Wow.
So hence the reason I've been doing lots of decorating and house revamp and all the rest of it to get that done and out of the way, and then kind of move on. My missus, she's a funeral celebrant. She's one of the local celebrants here. Obviously, the better of them all. I can't not say that. Do you know what I mean? But she is good. And yeah, I kind of found that I'm pretty good at. You're a Scorpio like me, aren't you?
Oh my God! You know what? I'm just listening to you, and of course, I could see those big 3 in your jacket, and of course, in your profile as well. They're number 3, and I was so intrigued about it, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
My lucky number is 3. Yeah, I when I was back in Brazil, I was went to astrologer, and he told me, William, your numbers, everything connected with 3 is your lucky number. It could be 33, 13, 23, or third, anything. And even before he told me that, I already had such a big connection with 3. I said, so interesting to find out that. So I was so intrigued. Now you said you're a Scorpio as well. So tell me which day.
4th of November.
I'm 17th of November. Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
anyway, we're gonna get there. You're gonna get there at one point.
Yeah,
so,
no worries.
Of course, we got connected through TikTok, through social media. So tell me, I was watching some of your videos. So tell me, what's the idea behind your videos on TikTok?
So really, they're just treats. Exactly what it is. It's just thoughts that come into my head that I speak out loud. Really, that's literally what that is, and it's kind of, I didn't really like, I just wanted something that I could just build on and that might serve me many years down the line to make a few quid from. You know what I mean? And they're just thoughts that come into my head, ideas that come into my head that I just share.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'm not a recluse, far from it, but I do keep myself to myself. I try and protect my energy. And I feel like doing that on TikTok kind of puts it out there to the world without having to interact with all them energies. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's the main goal of it, really. Like I say, they're just, you know, thoughts, ideas. You know, I get a lot of stuff when I go in the shower, and I get a lot of stuff before I go to bed at night as well. And I don't know, do you know what your rising sign is?
I mean, my second one is Sagittarius.
Right, okay, yeah. So I'm a Pisces, so I'm very, very intuitive.
Scorpio is very intuitive as well. Scorpio, one of the big characteristics.
That's what I mean. That's what
Oh my God, Scorpio, it's insane. Sometimes I think about someone and this person appears in front of me. I think about a friend and I receive a message like suddenly out of nowhere. It's incredible. No, I could write a book with those moments of intuition. It's very strong. I think Scorpio, you're very intuitive, very mystic, very mysterious as well. They say that Scorpio, they have 2 lives. The one that they show, people see, and the private one, because you are very private.
That's right.
Yeah. Very sexual. Scorpio, you are very sexual. You know, it's a lot. Scorpio is very intense. You know what I mean? You're very intense. We have so much. We have so much inside of us that sometimes we want to explode. There's a lot of energy.
No, definitely, mate. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I can
amazing. Okay, James, for doing the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Absolutely, mate. Bags are packed.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Let's do it. Right, before I start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can take another one, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Amazing. First question is, what bores you?
What bores me?
Yes.
What bores me? Queuing. Queuing up for anything.
Why is that?
Because it's just boring. That's why. You know what I mean? It's just like if there's 10 people in a queue and you're at the back of the queue and there's one person on the counter and everybody's paying in change and fumbling about, and like times have changed. So the people at the shop now are used to contactless. But you know, your locals and that, when you go to the local shop, they've got change, grandma's got change, etc., and you've got these millennials that can only work a phone and not a till. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I could just see when I get there that it's going to take a long time and it's going to be really painstakingly boring. And the only thing that gets me through that is telling myself what I could be doing instead of standing here like an idiot. Do you know what I mean? For bread. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So that's what really bores me, is queuing up.
And what makes you the happiest?
The happiest? What makes me the happiest is, bringing it back to what I said at the beginning of the conversation, really, is seeing the people that I care about happy, knowing that I'm a part of that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they can be happy without me, don't get me wrong. But being happy with somebody as well, and being happy with that actual person, and even when they're doing their own things in the day, and you're not actually physically with them, they're still happy as well. And your happiness makes their day easier.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, that's it. And I've always said that I like to see, like, back in the day, I used to go in the pubs and stuff, and I would always, if somebody was miserable, I'd have to act the clown to make everybody laugh, just to cheer people up, because that's what I want. I want everyone happy. You know what I mean? Wow. So yeah, that's what makes me happy.
And do you believe that happiness is a choice?
It's certainly a mindset. It's a mindset. I wouldn't say it's a choice, because sometimes we choose the wrong choice, but it's still a mindset.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, it's a mindset. So yeah, I suppose in that sense it is a choice, you know, because you can choose which mindset to have.
Totally.
But you know yourself, it's easy in today's world, the way things kind of are, to get pulled down by low vibrational stuff, whatever that be.
Totally.
So, yeah.
I get your point. I think all of us, we aim for happiness. I think we want to be happy. We want to bring this nice feeling, but sometimes it's just not there, and it's okay as well. It's okay.
Right. There's no destination happiness. Doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
It's whether you choose to be happy on the way to wherever it is that you think's happiness.
Totally.
That's the journey. You know, looking back can bring you sadness and happiness when you're looking back, but that again is a choice, whether you choose to look at the bad things that made you miserable or the happy times that made you happy. Yeah. So memories are good for that. And looking forward to stuff as well, looking forward from every angle, really present as well, you know.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Next question, let's do it.
Next question.
Okay, James, next question is, which movie had a big influence on you?
Which movie? What, in particular movie or type of movie, like action, thriller?
No, particular movie. That's when you, that for you somehow, you know,
that is a really hard question, because I've watched probably thousands of films over the years.
I love movies as well. I love movies. One of them that somehow touched your heart or touched your memory or made you emotional, maybe brought you to a memory that's You know, could be anything that somehow had a big influence on you.
You see, my mum used to watch films when I was a kid, and she always watched films. So that was a part of my life growing up. So that's why I probably took it into my adulthood sort of thing. And she would always watch kind of like your sob stories. Do you know what I mean? And I used to find myself as a kid just, I can't pick one particular film that did it, but there was plenty of films that my mum would watch where I'd be crying and thinking, what's wrong with me? Why am I crying? You know, I'm 8 years old watching a film that my mum's laughing at and I'm crying because it's sad or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's the emotion of being a Scorpio born in November rather than October. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. But a particular movie that kind of, I think I'd like to say kind of like, off the top of my head, without thinking about it too much, something like Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes, because it was an action-packed film, but it was also in the future as well. And that kind of that's when that kind of pushed me to kind of watch films then that are based on what I would class as reality.
Right.
Like the Jason Bourne movies where he's a hitman and he goes around doing things and he's been brainwashed and mind control and all them, you know, like things that you kind of think, that's very, very coincidental that that's happened in the movie. And you know what I mean? And I kind of followed them a little bit, but I'm not saying I'll watch anything, but I'll give anything a watch. Do you know what I mean?
As you mentioned, as a child, you know, you're crying easily. Nowadays, as an adult, do you cry easily or not?
That's a good question. So, as a kid, I did, and then that changes, as you know, when you go to school. At least it does in the UK anyway. You kind of, the way we're conditioned is, you know, I was brought up with parents that didn't really tolerate. Well, my mum would say, like, you know, like, don't start crying because otherwise I'll give you something to cry for. That was kind of the regular slogan. Do you know what I mean? And mum and dad are great parents, you know, like that was just how they did it. And I think the teenage and so early teenage years to late 30s, really, where I didn't cry. There was a time in my life where I split up with an ex-partner and there was children involved, and that, to be honest with you, destroyed me for a long time. And then eventually I got my mindset around that. But then it wasn't till later on in life I went down the path of kind of wanting to self-heal physically and metaphysically and learning about that. And then when I started learning about that and doing breath work and all the spiritual stuff that comes with it, all that kind of big bubble of everything that's put in there that puts that package together individually, people, you know what I mean? I did that work and I'll never, ever, ever forget crying that time when I did that in the kitchen, to the point of where uncontrollably. So long story short, I set an intention to let go of everything that makes me angry, that upsets me, deep traumas, nothing in particular, just that deep pain. And I remember doing a few runs, a few bike rides that week, and I remember being in the kitchen. I'll never forget it. Literally in the kitchen in my boxer shorts with sunglasses on, sun beaming in, lay on the floor doing breath work, listening to music, and then kind of going really deep into the breath work to the point of where I was there, but like consciousness is now above the body sort of thing, and doing breath work. And I remember crying. I remember getting up and telling my son, who had just come back off holiday with, about what had happened, because I was explaining it to him on holiday. And then I rang him. As soon as I did the breath work and stuff, I felt like a twinge in my stomach when I was moving my hands around. And it was like a really sharp pain. So I kept moving it, and it started to go after a bit. And then eventually, like I say, I rang my son to let him know what was what. I was on the phone to him for 15 minutes. And as soon as I put the phone down, cried. And when I mean I cried, I could feel my eyes squeezing that hard, and like my eyelids felt like they were full of water and were bursting with like when they say burst into tears, that's literally how I felt. And I howled like a wolf.
A moment.
I literally howled like a wolf, to the point of where, after all that happened, I went outside and was kind of like, who heard that? Do you know what I mean? Because it was loud. It wasn't. It was. I let go. I let it all go. So that was the first time I cried properly in a long time, and I cried loads of times after that. Because I knew what I was doing then. I knew I needed to shed more. I wanted to see how much I could shed. So I just kept crying and crying. And anytime I felt upset, I just let it out.
Amazing.
But I was isolated. I isolated myself to deal with that, because it's not really the local restaurant to go and do it, or your fun place or whatever. Just
I know.
Go to the park in tears. So yeah, I went deep inside, and that's where all the tears kind of flew, really. And that was one of the best things I've done for myself personally. When it comes to
powerful moment for sure. I think just let it out. I'm sure you felt the greatest afterward. I think it's amazing to be in this point. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Next question. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Do you like dancing?
Do I like dancing? So back in the day, pubs and clubs and all of that sort of stuff, I was first on the dance floor out of the mates and last off the dance floor out of the mates. Like, I used to love it. That Pisces flow and rhythm and the depth of the beat and just all of it, like just stuck in that trance of a moment. Do you know what I mean?
I love it.
So yeah, and I used to dance how I felt. I never ever danced to how a pop star would dance. I never went out the same dance back in the day, because I just moved how I went with it. I feeled into it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Dancing is about express yourself. There are no rules. Just close your eyes and move with 100%. The sound. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Before the next question, as I could see your eyes shining, talking about being a dad. So tell me, what do you like the most about being a dad?
What do I like the most about being a dad? All of it. Just being a dad. All of it. Like, there's like, yeah, it gets tough. Yeah, it's easy. I still enjoy it, because when it's tough, it's like I need to figure that out. When it's easy, I get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, being a Scorpio, figuring stuff out, coming up with a way to fix something that's not working to make somebody happy so it does work as well is part of a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And whilst the very first spur of the moment might be frustrating or whatever, I'm quite conscious to bring it back to, well, hang on a minute, I need to deal with that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the birth, I've always said, if you're at the birth as a father and you don't cry, you're not a man. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. Like, it's messy, but it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
Oh, sweet.
You know, like, and that's the truth of it. So,
how many kids do you have? Do you have one kid, or how many kids?
I've got 3 children.
Okay.
And talking about one more.
You expect another child? Oh my God! Congratulations!
They say kids keep you young, so I want to stay young, so I'm going to keep having kids.
I love it. I love it. Oh, sweet. Very sweet. Okay. Next question is, what's the biggest price you've paid for being yourself?
The biggest prize?
You've paid? Price. What's the biggest price you paid for being yourself?
So you mean in a bad way? Like what's
Could
happened?
be, yeah, something that, you know,
Yeah.
something that for being yourself, you pay the price for it.
That's easy. Getting hated and sacked. Haters and sacked. Because I say it how it is. There's you know, it's black or white. The grey area is a massive infinite space where black's black and white's white. Do you know what I mean? So I've had the sack, well, from every job. From every job, because you know, like when things nowadays, people want more out of you, and even back then they wanted more out of you. So it's kind of like using, when you're in a workplace, it's kind of using their rules against them. But nobody will speak up. Even though them rules are there for us to abide by, they're also there for them to abide by as well. But because they're above us on the pay structure, we think, or people think, we can't speak up to them. They can only speak down to us. Do you know what I mean? Not in my yard. Definitely not. Like that's always been my mouth. I've always say what I think, and I don't care what the consequences are, within reason. Do you know what I mean?
What's the biggest joy of being James? What do you like the most about being you?
Me? What's the biggest joy about being me? Seeing people's faces when they see me is probably one of the best things about being me, because like there's so many different categories of people. You've got your haters, so when you see them, it's good to see their face and see their reaction when they're hating on you, but you're making them laugh. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, like for me that's fun, watching him hate me even more. Do you know what I mean? So I like to see that face. Like that I burn off that. Do you know, that's my fuel. You know, and then seeing somebody else that I've done something for years ago and they still do that, or they still use it, and seeing the face of like, just good to see me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the best part about being me, is seeing that I've had that effect. Both ways. I'm not bothered which way, but just seeing it play out is good. Do you know what I mean? I do enjoy it. Yeah.
You're kind of person that you are literally your truly self. You live every day being yourself. And I think that's a powerful place to be, because as you know, sometimes, you know, for one reason or another, sometimes you need to be somebody else or pretend to be somebody else. And I think when you are in a place where you are truly self, it's the best place to be, because people, they're going to appreciate the person who you are. And they know it, that you are literally, you know, being your truly self. And I think it's a good place. It's being authentic. It's about authenticity. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people tell me that. Some people that are quite intuitive are like, they'll say, you know, like, I'm quite true to my word, and they know that they'll say in a certain way that they know what they see is what you get. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, James, next question is, who would you swap lives with for a day if you could, for any reason, just to see the way they think or the way they behave, to understand a bit more about themselves? If you could swap lives just for a day, 24 hours, who could you choose?
Just one person?
One person for 24 hours.
That's hard, that is. That's hard when you've got 3 kids and a missus. Do you know what I mean?
Just to see the way they live or the way they think, you know, it intrigues you somehow.
Actually, no, I know the answer. I think I'd swap lives with my youngest for the day, because then that would take me back to my true younger self mentally, because I'd be able to visualize what's going off in his head and what I would maybe have been thinking then, whereas my other 2 children are in the 20s.
Okay.
And, you know, my other half, she's a little bit younger than me. So, you know, like, the mindset's very similar. So I think I'd jump to the youngest just to be in a younger, have somebody younger to observe and what he's thinking in this wacky, crazy world at this age, knowing what I know. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
What has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your kids so far?
Patience.
All the parents, they say that. It's so interesting.
Yeah, patience.
Wow.
Patience. I've learned patience. I've learned that you can't make a tree grow the same as you can't make a human grow. You have to watch them grow.
Totally.
And influence them and observe. And we're quick to interfere, aren't we?
Yeah.
With everyone's business. You should do this, you should do that, do it like this, do it like that. It's like, well, then really, realistically, I don't know where he's going. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know how he's going to get there. Neither do I. So who am I to tell him or them? Do you know what I mean? So like, you know, yeah, totally. Patience in observing and kind of thinking to myself, not patience as in like when they're argumentative and stuff like that. Because that's what it is. I don't really, like my oldest boy, we went through a phase of arguing and stuff. But I learned from that and realized that it doesn't change anything. So kind of like there's an alternative to even before we get to an argument. Do you know what I mean? So that doesn't happen anymore. But certainly patience and patience in watching them grow and then gripping hold of what I see that they like, and then helping that grow.
Great one. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, James from England. Next question is, what makes you most proud?
What makes me most proud? I get that now. So what makes me most proud of me is when I've taught somebody something and they've forgotten that I taught them that and they just do it.
Right.
And I don't say anything.
I like that, actually. I like that. It's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like, I like to think, I taught him that and he's completely forgot. Do you know what I mean? He's completely forgot that I even mentioned it. Like, that is deleted from his consciousness. Do you know what I mean? But I don't forget. You know that. Do you know what I mean? There's certain things in life you just don't forget, or it's not certain things. There's things that we're given to remember, and we use them as tools later on in life to learn as a Scorpio on a deeper level. You know, sometimes that gap can be 2 minutes, sometimes it can be 20 years, but there's certain things, and it's like watching somebody do something, they forgot that you taught them to do it, and then they do it, and they kind of look at you and go, you want me to show you? And it's like, no, you're all right. Or, yeah, go on then. Like, go on then, show me. And then watch them show me. Do you know what I mean? And I just go along with that. Do you know what I mean? And I like that because I taught you how to do that. That's not what it's about for me. Like, I couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? It's more tactically minded for me. I'm like, I taught him that. He's forgot. And now he's telling me. That's great. You couldn't write it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that amuses me. Do you know what I mean? And then that one time that somebody does something like that, I'll remember it 3-4 weeks later, and it'll just jump into my mind, and I'll just laugh, and somebody will be like, "What are you laughing at?" But like, nothing, because like I can't explain that. Do you know what I mean? I like to entertain the mind.
I like that.
Good things, isn't it? Good in, good out. So yeah.
And what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life?
What's the meaning of life? Check in and check out.
There we go.
The meaning of life is, what's the word? We are here to, what's the word? experience.
Yeah.
That's it. With just the meaning of life is experience, and that's with anything. Covers it all, really.
Totally.
Because that's what this is about. Like, that's the
Every
truth
day.
of it. That's the truth of it. So there's no point telling you something else when I used to believe that, but now I know. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so experience. Yeah.
Amazing. Last question. Ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Last question. Right, before the last question, let's talk about a bit about astrology. So tell me about the 33 or 3. You know, in your profile, there is a 3 there, 33. Is a connection you have with the number 3, or just a fascination about the number?
There is quite a big connection with it. In numerology, I'm a 33 life path.
Okay.
I live at 33. I lived at 33 before I realized I was a 33 life path.
Interesting.
I made the first payment when I was 21, and the postcode has 21 in it, and my initials, and I was 21 at the time. So, and the strange thing about it is I'd been to visit one place and going to look at another place, and I drove past this place and then pulled back and was like, what about this one? And my mum was in the front seat with all the leaflets and stuff, and she was like, oh, it's in the no pile. I was like, all right, let's have a look. And yeah, so I ended up here. But there's 33 is kind of like the colour orange reduces to 33. Orange is one of my favourite colours.
Okay.
My bike, one of my first mountain bikes as a kid was called an orange.
Wow.
The mountain bike I've got now is called an orange, and they were both orange. So it's kind of the 33 life path thing. That number's always been around. I've not always been conscious of it, but it's certainly always been around. And, you know, in Freemasonry, who knows what it means, because there's that many different perspectives, but it's called 33-degree Freemasonry for a reason and not 22. Wow. So, yeah, you see it played out all across the world when you're conscious of that, you know. So yeah, so that's why, really. That's why.
It's interesting. When I mentioned before about this person told me about the number 3 for me, that's always been connected. And it's so interesting, James, because when I look back, for example, I moved from Brazil to Portugal on the 13th of March. From Portugal to London, by coincidence, I was in London 13th of March as well. You know, I have so many, sometimes when I start to think about some events in my life, like positive or negative or anything, there's always a 3. There's always a 3. And it's so interesting how the numbers, you know, they follow us, how those, you know, it's with us. It's something that you don't choose it. It just chooses us. You know what 100%. I mean? And when I was checking your profile and I was making a note of your you know, your name on TikTok, I was like, oh my God, there's 33 here. And as soon as you put the camera on, I see in your chest 33. I was like, oh my God, there you go. There is something. And I didn't know you're a Scorpio. So how did you find out you're a Scorpio? One of my videos I mentioned.
Well, when you got in contact with me on TikTok through Messenger, I think you put your username in there, and I just thought I'll type that into YouTube, and I watched one of your videos. I can't remember who it was now that you interviewed, but the guy, I think the guy worked from home.
Right.
He was in a computer chair, and he was in quite a big space, and you could see all of him in his chair. I can't remember his name now, but I think it was him that you started talking to. I watched that one for about 20 minutes, and then I watched another one for about 5 minutes while I was waiting to pick my boy up from school. And somebody mentioned star signs, and you said, oh, I'm a Scorpio. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
It's a Scorpio season. I think we've been through before, you know, in November, end of October, November is a Scorpio season. You know, we are everywhere.
Do you notice the difference between October and November Scorpios?
No, actually, good point. I never thought about that, actually.
So an October Scorpio is more argumentative and direct.
Okay.
Whereas a November Scorpio is more emotional.
Oh, it makes sense then. It makes sense. Wow. Interesting. You made my day. I learned something new
don't
about
get me wrong. They're the main. They're the two obviouses. There's
of course.
plenty more. Do you know what I mean? But,
I see. Interesting. Okay. Last question is, this one is going to be very easy for you. If you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why? They don't need to be here anymore. They could be still here. Could choose anyone to spend a day with them. Who that would be?
It's actually quite a difficult question because anybody that's not here, i.e. 6 feet under, I don't go to the grave. I don't really miss them because I lived with them or, experienced them. Don't get me wrong, I've not had my mum and dad die or anybody really close, but, grandmas and granddads are gone, aunties are going and stuff like that. Shed a few tears, but I've never actually thought, I really wish I could just spend another day with them. And that's what makes it hard about anybody living, really, because they are living. I can go spend the day with them. So that's actually quite a hard question. It would have to be somebody that's dead, because anybody that's here now, I can go spend the day with them. So I'd have to choose somebody that's not here. And I'm trying to think, I wonder, actually, my mum's mum.
Wow.
Because I never knew my mum's dad.
Okay.
I was too young when he passed. But my mum's mum, I remember. And I remember her just being the way she was, but not really ever knowing anything about her. And then when you ask my mum, not that she doesn't remember, but she just doesn't really have anything exciting to say. Do you know what I mean? I think my mum only knows the stories about her mum, whereas my mum's mum would have stories to tell me that my mum's never told me.
That's amazing.
So I think my mum's mum. I think my mum's mum, yeah.
Good one. Right, so the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to say some words. Just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? One word for money.
Easy.
Fear.
Doesn't exist.
Life.
Thrive.
Family.
Abundant.
Nice one. Religion.
It's belief.
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Highest vibration.
Sex.
Loads of it.
Scorpio. Scorpio, we are the sexual one. Compared with other star sign, we are the sexiest. We have this connection with sex. And in every star sign it represents a part of the body of the human body, yeah. And the Scorpio represents the genitals. So yeah, all connected to sex. Yeah, right. Definitely. One word for politics.
Politics? Nonsense.
Friendship.
Sorry?
Friendship.
Friendship. Trust it.
Desire.
Desire. One word answer to desire. Careful.
I would say danger. I would say danger because for Scorpio, desire can be very dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
From Scorpio's perspective, it's like, be careful.
Yeah. I was so curious to see what you would say. I love it. Amazing.
Yeah, well, that just shows, doesn't it?
Regrets?
None.
Success?
None.
I love it. Love it.
So, sorry, what was the first one?
No, first was regret, and after success.
Regrets, yeah.
None.
Don't regret. Don't regret. And success. Is a mindset.
Wish.
For more wishes.
Happiness, one word.
Oh, one word, sorry.
It's okay.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Happiness. I don't know. Happiness, one word answer. Happiness, like embrace it. Embrace.
Nice one. One word for England.
One word for England. Finished.
My God. Oh my God. And the last one now. One word for Scorpios.
Magnetic.
Good one. Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your missus for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define James in one positive and one negative word only. What should say about you?
One positive and one negative.
Just one word.
Romantic. Platonic.
Good one. Amazing. Let's play now, James, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, James, you can ask me a question now.
Right. So my question to you would be, what's something in life that you've learnt or been advised somewhere along them lines that you have taken on board and now you use that as part of your toolkit to help others? It's kind of like a tool that you use and go, here, mate, try this, that you've got from somebody else that served you well.
Wow, what a great question, James. What a great question. You know what? I think life lessons, we learn a lot every day. There's always a life lessons for us to learn every single day. You know what? When you were like preparing the question, a few things came to my mind. A few things was crossing my mind. But you know what? Something that I've learned through life, James, that I'm still learning, but something that, I've learned, and a few people mentioned to me, people wiser, that they were, maybe they understood more about life at the time, they were older than me. And something that I've heard that before, it's in the end of the day, it's down to you. I think, we're going to have people around us to support us, to help us, to push us, to teach us things that you need to learn. But end of the day, it's all down to you to make things happen, to organize things, or to live a life the way you think is right. And sometimes just learn through life, making mistakes, or going through situations that, there's no like a book for you to read and learn. You need to go through it, so something that sometimes I mention to people, or people around me, or people that's, I'm talking about different topics. I just go like, you know what? We need people around us. You never get anywhere alone. You need people to support us in different ways. Yeah. However, in the end of the day, it's down to you to make things to happen, or to, put yourself in a better place, or to put yourself in a place that you feel the greatest, or, to learn about yourself. Of course, sometimes you might be depressed, and people, they're going to try to push you, or to wake you up, or to, to cheer you up. However, if you don't do the job, it's impossible for someone to come inside you and somehow make things happen. So I think that's what I've learned through life. And sometimes I pass this message when I can, when I see friends or people around me, that they go like, you know what, I'm not feeling the greatest, or, I said, you know what, it's okay. Sometimes should not feel well. It's not wrong with that. However, we can help you. We can find ways to make you feel better. But at the end of the day, you are the one who needs to, you are drive your ship, you know, you are drive your car life.
I can give you the book, but you need to read it.
100%, 100%. You can talk to them, you can pass your knowledge. It is amazing to do that. And I feel so grateful for people around me that they support me, you know, mentally or anything. But I've learned that, you know, they can be there by your side, but if you don't do the job, nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? You need to, totally. So it's something, but I could tell you so many other things that, you know, in my life that I'm still learning, but this one came to my mind straight away when you were preparing the question. And I think that it's down to us, you know, you need people around you, that's for sure. You never get anywhere alone. You need people around you all the time. However, you are the main captain of your boat, of your ship. You need the one who needs to, you know, to drive your life. So it's down to us at the end of the day, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question. Agree. Did you enjoy the interview?
Enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it. I'll do it again, mate. I'll do it again. I'll do it every day.
Thanks again.
I can talk as well.
James, I love your energy. I love the way you approach life. I love your, you know, the way, and I'm so sure when you mention about your friends, they know it, and I can feel your energy. You are the person.
Yeah, definitely. You're the same. I can see your energy.
What I can see here, sure, the person I can see here is the person who, you know, would tell the truth, would say the right thing, would say, you know, whatever, even if they don't want to hear, you are the one who's gonna say that. And I think it's amazing about the authentic. And again, congratulations. You know, I just hope that the new child coming sometime soon, it brings the best for you. You know what I mean?
Definitely. 100%. For sure.
I like 100%. The way you said, you're going to keep you always young. And I think from the young people or young children, it's always learn something and makes you younger as well.
You tend to see a lot of people kind of when the children have grown up. I mean, I've got hobbies. You know, if I didn't have children and, you know, I've got plenty to do. I could go do my hobbies all day, every day. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I see a lot of people growing up without hobbies. And then when the children have grown up, they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
They're lost. They're lost and they go, a lot of people can go backwards. A lot of people can go backwards. So, yeah,
it's great to have those fresh, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Fresh energy.
Absolutely. It keeps you young, for sure. I like that. Yeah, so I wish you the best. And to your niece as well. I just hope everything, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Will do.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Plant as many seeds as you can and kind of hold on to the strongest trees because they're the ones that's meant to be there. The ones that are withering away aren't worth worrying about.
Totally.
You know, they're not strong enough. They're not going to make it. They're going to need too much maintenance to thrive because they're poorly from the start. So just hold on to the strong, healthy tree. The seeds that you plant, the ideas that you've got, and so forth. You know, you can put that to anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
So yeah, your thoughts create your reality.
Amazing. Very good.
Have a good night. Thanks for having me. All right.
Take care, okay? It was a pleasure.
Bye. And you, mate. Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.